Let's talk about corruption on a higher level. It's a sort of rumor / urban legend / urban chatter that politicians also make the money off of real estate.
That's true.
Break down this whole thought because I mean the image that all politicians give out is, hey, I do it for the people. This is all for Bharat, and I get it. It's very nice. It's how it should be. But obviously, there's a monetary game. The thing is, you have too much insight at that level. You know which real estate corridors are going to come up. You know where the rates will go. You just have better intel than the average person.
Yes.
I would assume that's the core of politicians getting into real estate.
So two things, Ranveer. First, corruption pertaining to this field exists at 3 levels, right? One is corruption for political expenditure, which I don't think should even be called corruption. Because you have to run a party, you are holding public rallies, you need money for that, right? So essentially that's political expenditure is one aspect. Next is politician gaining out of this, that's corruption. Next, and I would say most of the time it's the poor politician who always gets blamed. Let's say a politician is making, there's 100 rupees ka corruption which is happening, the politician makes 30 rupees only. The 70 rupees corruption happens at a bureaucratic level. IAS or maybe, officers in the municipality and various stages, right? And they're from different categories, IAS or maybe group 2, group 3, I don't know, the different categories of whatever ranks they are. So how corruption happens in the sector, bureaucratic corruption. So essentially there are policies. There are rules how you should be, based on that rules, we need to be designing the building. Let's say I buy a 1 acre land. The rule says I can build 1 million square feet, right? Now, this rules change time and again, right? Now, let's say I bought the land and the rule has changed. So how bureaucratic corruption or negligence also sometimes which leads to corruption, how it does is, so when the policy changes, I should be intimated, right? Now I'm not intimated. What happens? Then whatever you say, I'll be at your whims and fancies. Kuch to kar le baba. Like, take whatever you want, but at least let me run through it. So what happens a lot of the times is the policies change, and a lot of policies change by bureaucrats, because politicians, they're not subject matter experts at this, right? How can they be? They cannot be. It's too much to ask also. It's not possible. But the bureaucrats are subject matter experts, and they change these policies. It can be any small thing also time and again, and they don't notify this in the Gazette. So essentially how the government functions is, when it can be with respect to any policy across pan-India. So whenever a government comes up with new policy or amendment to a policy, they have to notify in a notice board, right? That's what is called Gazette. Gazette means you need to notify it. Now somewhere it has become digitized, somewhere it's not become digitized. It's very iffy area. So one, they do not notify, hence I'm designing my building on the old set of rules because I'm not aware on the new set of rules. Now, this is something where they're very careless and they have zero empathy towards the developer community. And this is when there is scope for value add / corruption. Actually, now the rule has changed and I'm not aware, so something else. So if I'm losing something, then I have to give them. If I'm gaining something, then again some share has to go. So this now will get eradicated a lot with process side reforms, right? I looked at a lot of podcasts from Sanjeev Sanyal sir, and he has been talking about this, and I'm most optimistic for these things. See, government does major policy level things they do. Okay, this is the direction we want to build. We want to enable the manufacturing sector. We want to enable some sector. That's the policy reform, like the broad reform. Next is the process reform. How does these things happen? Let's say there is any change. How will the change be notified to its users? In this case, businesses like us. So if this is not done in a transparent manner, or sometimes what happened with a builder and a political nexus, as a builder, I can go, maybe I bought a piece of land and I can change some policy which will increase the amount of square feet I can build on that land. And I could do this only to myself. Then what will I do? I'll probably go to the politician, and if I have a good relationship or something, I can offer some percentage of the gain I'm getting, and they can issue a GO, and this GO can be under the desk. It's not wide open in the public, so rest everybody won't even. This even leads to a format of crony capitalism, where only I as a builder gain, my rest of the market doesn't have access to this, they don't gain. So these practices have to become lesser and lesser. But, I would say still the awareness on how to reduce this has not yet come in, which is essentially process. Like, simple, right, boss? You change a policy, heaven or earth, you have to go maybe policy.com, put some website and just put it there, right? If you don't put it there and somebody has gone with the old policy, then they should get approved. Something like that. There can be process reforms. So the awareness for government folks, particularly bureaucrats, because this is the responsibility of the bureaucrats on this line, is either I don't know it's awareness or genuinely not wanting to do it. I don't know what it is.
Much cash to be made.
Yeah, so
that's probably what it is.
Possible.
If you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out these curated playlists that we've made especially for you related to the subject that was spoken about in this clip.